Welcome to Session 4 of Unforeseen Heroes, a Pathfinder 2nd Edition campaign. Our heroes hail from a small fishing village called Osprey's Cove, serving as guards for village elder Ordwi, who wanted to journey to the neighboring village of Iron Harbor after a dying man gasped out a message of death and disaster befalling Iron Harbor. When they arrived, Elder Ordwi was escorted to meet with Gormite High Priest Nur Ragnoth, and Elder Ordwi tasked the heroes with learning more about the recent events in town, especially the presence of the Thessalonian trireme in the harbor. They heard about strange lights and otherwise happenings at the local landmark of Rusthenge, an ancient rusted series of iron spires thrusting into the sky, used as a navigation landmark these days. At Rusthenge, they found an odd abyssal creature being led by cultists between the spires, and the party promptly eliminated it. In the morning, after Ordwi missed their scheduled check-in and getting no response at the gate of Stoneholm, the party found an underground stream leading to the fortress's cistern and well. Inside, they found dead bodies and rusted armor, captive acolytes, and a creature known as a sin spawn. In the basement, they found a tunnel they think led under the bay to Rusthenge. At the end of the tunnel, they found an ancient Thessalonian complex known as the Sky Metal Workshop, now rusted and full of more cultists, including the former Gormite High Priest, now spouting praises of Zar Azmak, a deceased demon lord. After defeating the former High Priest and destroying a device on the altar, the party pressed on, searching for Ordwi, before being repelled by a strange otherworldly hound that almost defeated them. While fleeing from the hound, they encountered Sister Vanda, the Gormite who initially demanded that Ordwi go alone to Stoneholm. Sister Vanda was surprised by the tunnel under Stoneholm, surprised by the Ospreans being here, and even more surprised by seeing the defeated and now fallen High Priest. Vanda desired to put things to right at Stoneholm, but stayed behind long enough to help with the hound. In the room with the hound, they found a message scrawled in blood. Nur has fallen to the cult. Warn Osprey's Cove. I feel they'll take me below soon. Signed by Ordwi. The party rushed on to a blockaded room where they found boggards you were able to negotiate with. The boggards had been exploring this place when the cultists arrived and cut off their way back to their home in the Darklands. The boggards granted the heroes friendship badges that should identify them to the rest of their group should they encounter any more. And they told the heroes of a secret door that leads to the room with the stairwell down to the lower areas. On the way to that door, you heard chanting and snuck past to the secret door where you found an inexplicable workshop filled with all manners of unusual devices and another pair of sin spawn. Now, sitting in that room, patching yourselves up after the encounter, you stare at the stairs down. As you discuss your next move, you hear thrumming from the pillar in the room, and occasionally see the pulse of something traveling through the pillar to the other apparatuses in the room and downward into the floor.
Doesn't seem normal. Huh. You read about this stuff in books, and it always seems so exciting, but it's kind of terrifying when you're there.
I mean, look around, Dezi. None of this is normal.
I haven't seen a whole lot of books that talk about these split face things.
No, yeah, those aren't in most of my textbooks.
Well, we should probably patch up a bit here before we continue on.
I'd agree. I feel like we've been going so fast. My mind hasn't been able to keep up with everything that's going on. I wasn't expecting this.
I know what you mean. It's been room to room. We should take a breather and think things through here. Ordwi left a message for us to warn her Osprey's Cove, but I think we should still try to follow her. But I'm worried we're leaving too many things behind. If we need to make a hasty retreat, there could be foes blocking us.
Yeah, I don't like the idea of leaving her behind.
We're just talking about how we're gonna rest here and how I don't know. It's been so crazy just rushing forward. I feel like my mind doesn't had time to kind of catch up with everything that we've seen. It's all a little terrifying.
Oh, I understand, but I feel like we need to push forward. Who knows what they're doing in there?
All right, well, if that's the case, then do we want to try and patch ourselves up a little bit more? I don't know how many more of these things we're going to see. Vanarel will point to the sin spot on the floor with one of his hammers.
Well, we saw one. Now it's been two, so I would assume more next time. But yeah, I'm a bit cut up. Can I get some bandages, Vanarel?
Yeah, let me see what I can do here for you. So, yeah, Vanarel will put the hammers away, sheath those for now, bring out that fancy healer's kit, and I will try to patch up Daegron here.
As that's going on, Dezi's kind of wandering, looking around a bit, and suddenly he hears a scratching from the door where they came from. I wonder what that is.
I think Vanarel was very, very distracted by the scratching.
The scratching, you hear just kind of like a yelp from Daegron. Ow! Vanarel, watch it!
Hold on.
Cut.
I think I'm just going to start off tonight by trying to use a hero point and re-roll that. You wanted the blood on the inside?
Preferably.
Well, it's pretty complicated. The way this thing sliced you open.
This thing? You mean you? Okay. Take care of yourself. What was that scratching?
That looks okay, though, right?
So Dezi kind of cautiously opens the door and says, "Oh, hello there. Who are you?" And you see him kind of open it a bit more, and this small Arctic fox comes in and kind of pounces on Dezi, not in a vicious way, more in a small dog sort of way. Where did you come from? Dezi starts petting the dog, and well, come join us. And the dog kind of actually is following Dezi around, which seems a little strange, as opposed to the rest of you.
Did you find a dog down here?
No, I don't know where they came from, but I mean they came through that door or from that door. But hold on. Do I think that is generally a wolf, or sorry, not a wolf, fox?
It looks like it's shifting between forms a little. Like, one moment it was a dog, one moment it's a wolf, and one minute it's a fox. It seems to be whatever you're saying it is at that given moment.
Oh, that's weird.
Seems rather unstable. Can I,
Oh no.
arcane at this? I mean,
Sure.
OOC, I know exactly what's going on here, but I think it's worth Libby trying to figure it out.
I mean, you're not positive, but it does remind you of when your bee showed up, and it did seem like for a couple of moments early on, like it wasn't sure what it was supposed to be.
Okay, well, maybe you should decide and stick with one form. Just keep calling it a whatever it is.
Oh, you mean if I call it a fox, it'll stay a fox?
Probably.
Oh, cool. Well, come here. Come here, Mr. Fox. Let's go. We'll rest with our friends.
Dezi?
Is it rattling again?
Let's.
The
What?
room is making noises. Yes.
Okay,
You
I thought I heard
You hear a
the door
clicking.
again.
Oh, that was the door. I think someone closed it after letting the fox in.
I did.
Are you sure that that little fuzzy thing that changes shape isn't like the last little fuzzy things we saw that changed shape on us?
I mean, it
Pretty
hasn't mauled
sure.
his face, so I'm willing to give it a try.
It seems friendly. I do feel some sort of connection with it. Oh, do you think it's like your bee?
My bee is a witch's familiar. I mean, have you had any contact with any really strange people who offered you maybe like a deal?
No. Is that normally how witches work?
Sort of. You meet someone and they become like your witch's patron. They sponsor you with a little bit of.
I'll keep my eye open. Thanks, Libby.
It should have already happened, but you know, maybe they did it without you knowing, which is something that can happen. I think.
Oh, weird. Okay.
All right, are we all set as bandages we're going to get?
Vanarel is just looking back and forth between Libby and Dezi and Fox and the bee, and we'll just accept that this is a fuzzy thing that might change shape that won't try to assault us.
My
General,
bee
why
is
don't
very
you try to...
set in stone. It's definitely a bee.
General, why don't you try to patch yourself up if you can?
Yeah, right. Let me go over here. I'll try to wrap myself up real quick, and then we'll get going. I don't want to hold here for too much longer, honestly. Just a real quick kind of Oh, that should have been two of them. I think that speaks more to Vanarel's general healing abilities at this point.
It's just fine on yourself, just not on others, apparently.
Yeah, I gotta try to work on that.
As we're sitting here, the fox is kind of leaned up against Dezi's arm. And slowly you see it actually kind of absorb into Dezi's arm, and there's a shape of like a fox, effectively a tattoo, kind of henna style on his arm of a sleeping fox. And Dezi looks is like, whoa, I didn't know that could happen. Does your bee do that, Libby?
I mean, I activate absorbs familiar. It does exactly the same thing, but makes like a birthmark on her face of a bee.
Oh,
I mean, yeah.
You think it's a familiar? That's
mine's a
cool.
familiar.
I'll have to figure that out.
I'm going to let Bia back out because Bumblebee should always be out.
Libby, I know you really want to press forward, and I understand, but I do think we should try to at least respect that Ordwi's message to us was to help Osprey's Cove. And I don't want to jeopardize that by pushing ourselves to the point where we can't get back and notify them if something horrible is happening.
Well, we do have a pretty safe escape route. If we push on and see something we cannot handle, we can probably turn around and effectively leave.
Okay. We should, I think that's probably a good plan. And maybe if I have to use this heal, we think about falling back. because if somebody gets knocked unconscious, I don't want to leave them behind as well.
Understandable.
With that said, Vanarel, with this bandage job, you get to go first.
We're
Yeah.
just taking turns, yeah. I can follow you, Vanarel, or if you want to go behind them, Daegron, you're welcome to.
All right, well, let's go.
Don't forget to
Vanarel
take your wounded off.
down the stairs. Yeah, I guess if we've had the
Oh, that your
time
healing
to.
would have taken care of it.
Yep.
So you've arrived in a new area. Let's see. The stairwell down to this level. Sorry. This 40-foot high ceiling chamber is brightly lit by flickering flames inset into small silver-lined nooks. The carefully controlled light artificially illuminates several painted frescoes on the opposite wall. The tall galley hosts 5 crafted depictions of a horned and hooved giant in rusted plate, accomplishing great tasks of utter destruction, with the last in the series showing some sort of ritual. Part of the wall in the southeast corner has caved in somewhat, but the hallway exiting the chamber to the north and south are intact behind doors. To the west, a massive 15-foot wide iron door seals the passage beyond. Sharp spikes and blades of rusted metal cover the entire surface of the door.
All
Yeah,
right.
I guess that's what I'm.
That's what you're facing at, yes.
Right.
Hmm.
The whole place looks like it caved in or something.
As I kind of
depiction
look
of
at
the-
these blades, do they seem to like?
Actually, I need to
If
pause
you
you
tried
right
to
there.
open the door, would it? Oh.
Vanarel, as you moved around, behind the wall here, 2 more of your friends.
I knew it. I knew it.
These guys.
Oh, geez.
We will need to roll initiative right away. Let me toggle you all in, and we'll be good to go. You can roll
Okay.
initiative now.
Oh, there we go.
For once, I'm not like in the very back of things.
Okay, I have unpaused it. One of them is up first. It's the one in front. Maybe make some sense. And it sees Vanarel right there and is going to swing at you with its halberd. In the past, these have all tried to bite you, but this one seems like it's fighting from range. And it gets a hit on you with swings the halberd around, catches your arm, feels like it's trying to hook you to the floor, but just does some damage. 7 points. It swings again. It misses, and it's then going to move into the rubble here, making some space for its buddy to get out. Daegron, you would just would have heard something from Vanarel. I don't know, Vanarel, what would you have said or done?
After the initial scream of pain, probably I just fixed myself. There's more of them. The things.
And that's what you hear,
knew it.
Daegron.
Okay, Daegron comes charging around the corner here. Oh, and sees this. Okay, he is going to step forward here and then 1 down. And that is 1 action. With his second action, he's going to do a snagging strike. He raises the axe high and tries to bring it down and try to force it out of position.
That's going to hit it.
A 19 to hit.
Yep.
And then for his third action, he brings his axe back and kind of gets in a ready position to intercept anything that comes at him with his dueling parry.
And it's off guard until your next turn, right?
Yep.
Okay, I added that. Vanarel.
All right, I have had it with these things. I will stare at this one that just swiped at me long enough to size him up and get a good beat on him, marking him as my hunted prey. Then I'm going to, I don't know if this is a step or a stride in this rocky terrain, but I'm moving.
It would need to be a stride.
Then a stride it is.
So it's taken its AOO on you.
Oh, well, that's unfortunate.
It missed.
Whew. Ducking underneath the halberd swing, I'll come in here and make a couple of strikes of my own on this thing.
You missed. Maybe the dodging under that halberd just threw off your aim just a little bit as you wove your way in here next to this creature.
Yeah, these rocks are very, very loose down here. Not getting a good shot on him at first, but the
then-
second one looked pretty okay.
Then you get a crit on him. Thanks to Daegron kind of helping pull him into your swing just a little bit. Libbiel.
And that is
Okay, Libbiel is like, oh shit. Alright. They did kind of predict this. I see a safe spot for me to stand right here, and I'm going to apply Runic Weapon on our fighter.
You would know that usually that actually would not be a safe spot. That is still within their reach, but he already used his reactive strike.
Oh, okay.
There's the special exception, if you're not familiar in Pathfinder 2, that the double diagonal still counts for a reach weapon to avoid the Pathfinder 1 step in along the corner and never trigger a reactive strike problem.
Which is your main weapon? The Orc Neck Splitter, I'm guessing?
Yep.
Okay. There you go.
Thank you.
Oh, I can't do it. Never mind.
Don't worry, I'll do it.
Is there any... What does your magic look like when it's not sleep and not
Well,
live wire?
this is a runic weapon, so I'm going to channel more of my patron, and with Mia's help, I write the exact same sort of runic script that seems a little too incomprehensible. That's on Mia onto the weapon.
Up next is the other one of these guys. He is going to swing at Daegron. Again, staying in his little corner. Using his reach for his advantage. Manages to hit Daegron. For 11 points.
Oh, ouch.
Swings a second time. Misses. And then it is going to... It's going to step forward. Dezi.
Dezi's got a little bit of a view, but not much. So they're going to kind of step to the far side of the room to get a better view, or move to the far side of the room. I think that's a good enough view. And I see the one on the south has been snagged by Daegron still, I believe. So I'm actually just going to target it, mutter a prayer to safe passages and riddance of vile fiends, and a bolt of holy light will shoot out towards it.
I'm going to give him 1 point of cover because you're shooting 3 people, but you still manage to hit with that, thanks to the off guard. And give me a perception check as well, Dezi.
Sure.
You feel a little uneasy being next to that door. There's horrible, like, rusty spikes sticking out of it, and you feel like they are slowly moving, trying to, like, stab you or grab you. Nothing's happening right now, but you definitely feel uncomfortable standing in that place.
I would let the party know that the door is being creepy, and I'm not very comfortable near it.
The Envy spawn, who is currently off guard due to Daegron, is going to bite at Daegron. Does not like you throwing it off guard. And it is going to hit you.
Who is going to hurt?
That weird mouth bites into you and
Yeah,
drops you
helping
to the
that.
ground. It then smiles and bites again at Vanarel. Misses before it sends a claw at Vanarel as well. Which misses as well, just barely. And I believe it is no longer off guard. It would drop off anyways at this point of your turn, but
Yep.
Vanarel, you've seen Daegron drop.
All
This
right.
thing's been trying to bite you.
Not today. No more. Just regripping both of my hammers. I'm just going to pummel this thing into the corner as hard as I can. I'll start with a twin takedown for the my first action here.
That's a crit.
Hat. No more of any of you.
That one is pulverized into the rock.
Okay.
The smile it had on its face fades as your hammer slams into it.
All right. For
So the second swing of Twin Takedown is kind of wasted here. And
right.
you still have, I believe, 2 actions, right? Twin Takedown's only 1 action for you, or is it 2?
Correct. It's 1 action.
You have 2 actions left, but of course you're also at full map at this point.
Right. Yeah. But that's them's the breaks. I believe this might be another stride to get me.
In the difficult terrain, yes, it would be. So you're going to eat another
Okay.
AOO. Had to be leaving at reach, so it has to use the halberd. 23 against AC, I believe, would be a hit.
It does. Yes.
13 damage.
Ah, these things hit hard. All right. So second action is to get whacked in the face with another pole arm, and for my third, I'll just try to bury a hammer in this guy just once. We're at map.
That's still a hit.
Still managed to break his defense. I'll take it.
Flurry Rangers can do stuff. It was a weak hit, though. It barely made it through, but you still got some damage on it.
Well, he took a lot out of me, so.
Libbiel.
Libby, kind of accepting some realities right now. She's going to hit this with a live wire that looks quite a lot like a bee sting.
That's going to miss.
And then she's going to take just a small step backwards.
You can still roll the damage because the electricity still gets applied.
Right. Been a week, and I've had to do a lot of things.
2 points. I'll apply that. Okay, it's been applied.
And then I'm going to hit myself with a shield.
I don't think if you step back, that's your third action, right? 2 actions for live wire, 1 action step back.
Yes, okay. Yeah, you're right.
This next one is... Yeah, I think it's going to try to drop Vanarel as well. He sees no reason to chase after the spellcasters right at the moment. So, going with the Jaws against Vanarel is going to hit for 6 points. And
Yeah, that
Yep.
be on the ground also.
That drops you as well. Vanarel drops to there in the initiative. It has 2 actions left. It's going to stride up next to Libbiel and try to
Mhm.
bite Libbiel. That's a crit.
Ah, yes.
For 12 points of damage, and I will need a will save from you.
This looks like a failure.
That is a failure.
Yeah, I'll just take that to the chin.
You are sickened too as you wrestle with envious thoughts toward all around you. Everything everyone else has, you want, or you think you deserve. Dezi,
Oh no, 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 no. Yeah, Desi's eyes are a little bit extra round right now. But they say, well, this is gonna hurt. And I assume it still has. I will be casting a spell, presumably within its reach.
yep, it's going to swing at you. It will hit you, but not crit.
That is not a crit, and that's really all I care about.
For max damage, though.
Oh shit. I should have hit the crit damage. Oop.
No, that was already doubled for you.
It was already doubled?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Give yourself 12 back. You're not unconscious. You're not dying. Let me fix all those conditions.
Alright.
At least for non-spells, for strikes, I will hit the critical damage button, so they were already double ahead of time. Spells
Well,
don't
everyone's
have that
getting
button.
2 back. It's not much, but it's going to make everybody conscious, and I've eaten its AOs, so please kill this thing quick.
And it gets 2 back as well.
Okay.
Fine. That seems worth it.
Okay. Daegron, you are conscious. You are prone. You have dropped your weapon.
With a pained grunt, he reaches over, grabs his axe, pushes himself up from behind this thing, and he's going to then go for a snagging strike. Let me just get these conditions removed here. Go. And he's going to go. He swings towards the back of this creature.
1 second. Vanarel, I forget. Don't you have Orc Ferocity?
It's once per day, and I've definitely already used it earlier.
That's right. You used to. Yeah, it was this day. Never mind.
Yeah.
Okay. That
Ugh.
will miss.
Yeah, I'm going to hero point that. Oh, it's even worse.
Even worse. That's still a miss.
He just like slumps as he swings and like hits against the wall.
Libbiel.
Libbiel is going to cast shield on herself, which I assume provokes.
It already used its reaction this round, though.
Oh, okay. I didn't. And we'll attack it with the live wire.
That's a good time to
then-
roll high. That's a regular hit, though.
Yes, unfortunately. 6 damage.
Yeah, it's still looking pretty reasonable. Vanarel, it is your turn.
Okay. Well, I have to stand up first. So I will do
Oh.
that. Don't know how much punishment these things can take or how much it's taken already. Being blacked out recently.
What was that?
I'm just trying to remember if this thing was injured or not, but I was recently knocked out myself, so I think I probably don't have a clear bead on that. So I am going to pick up not that warhammer, but the other weapon I've been using, the light hammer. I'm going to grab that, and I am going to hurl it at this thing. they can be thrown, and I would love to strike this thing in the back of the head.
Let's see how good your aim is after just standing back up.
Seeing which one of these. Is this the... Yes, this is the range one. Okay. Alright, so I will... One hammer coming through. Striking the wall.
Breaking the wall over its head.
Dropping to the ground.
It's its turn next.
I mean, the squishiest one's right here.
I think it is going for... You're also the only one who's hit it this turn. I think it's going to
Yes.
go for Libbiel. With a bite again. A regular hit there.
Yep.
With another save required.
All right. Not that it matters.
Ooh, okay, no save needed then. Your initiative moves. Just slightly moves. To flipping places with Vanarel.
Mm-hmm.
It has 2 actions left. So it's going to use one to swing at Daegron with a claw swipe. And miss. And it tries another one of those.
Needed that.
You needed both those two. It feels like maybe this is the opening you needed. It was swinging wildly at Daegron, hoping to drop, and does not connect. Dezi.
Yeah, about that. Okay, let's cast shield. Dezi is like, oh, I can do that. He says to the small tattoo on his arm, and mutters a few words. These don't seem to be related to his deity, and a shield springs up around them.
Okay, I don't believe shield has manipulate, so that won't provoke. Just concentrate. Yep.
And then we're going to do the stupid thing, and I guess we're going to just provoke from it by casting another spell.
Okay. It's going to swing at you, Dezi. And you don't have cover from Libbiel anymore.
Very short.
It hits you again. For 13. Are you still up?
I think I shall shield block that.
Okay.
I'll get that in a second.
So shield block is keeping you up.
This thing's fine. This time I'm actually just going to cast a spell. I'm going to cast Needle Darts at it to try to fire some... basically, one of my crossbow bolts materializes and kind of fires on its own.
That will be a crit.
Woo.
I can't roll the critical for that, so you'll have to
Yep,
double.
spells,
Oh my!
Spells I need to double. Yep. You do finish it. Looks like your the lessons from your fox are definitely helping. That was your whole turn, though. We will stay in initiative until we resolve Libbiel's condition. Daegron.
Daegron has no means of doing anything, but he is going to move back towards Dezi and kind of just like slump up against the wall here as he's barely standing.
Okay. Vanarel?
Vanarel has a potion on him still. I think it's one of those ones we picked up from the junior clerics there. He will get over to here, pull the potion out, and will feed it to Libbiel,
Okay.
getting a D8 of healing back. Oh, it was a full one. Good. Libbiel, take that back.
This wasn't the one they ate, I
Oh.
guess. Okay.
No.
I will end the encounter. We are out of initiative.
Libbiel's on the ground going,
Um,
all right, you win. Let's go.
Yeah, I don't know if we. Is it safe to go out? Should we ask our friend frog people if we can maybe camp with them for a night?
That might be the best. We're pretty beat up. I don't know if we ran into anyone on the way out. Or
I
did
don't
it go
know.
bad?
I don't know how much longer we can keep slamming our face into these walls. This is crazy.
And don't stand next to that door. It's not. It was reaching towards me.
Yes, let's make a quick retreat to the previous floor.
All right,
Yeah.
I'm gonna stand up.
Venom
And,
will collect all his hammers. And
Yeah, she's looked like she's ready to retch, but she's going to like stumble back out this way. Well, we're clearly out of our league here.
We're just spent. It's been a long day. We've gone through quite a lot.
Yeah, that was. But yeah, I feel like we might do better with a night's rest, wherever that is.
All right. Well, let's see if the frogs are willing to put us up. Yes. Yeah, we left this all open, of course.
So as you make
Well,
your way back to this room, you do see the boggards, the frogs. The leader. Let me get the picture again.
Mm-hmm.
Looks at all of you. You're back. I thought you were clearing the way down for us. Why are you here now?
Unexpected resistance.
We've taken out 5 of them, but we can't go on without at least a little rest.
You have like a hole for me to be sick into.
Uh, there's the smelly hole opposite the water room.
The down one, this one.
Yeah.
Taps on this door. All right. Oh, she's just going to like stay in here and retch and retch and retch until she's got it all out.
Okay. Yep. You can clear the second out of combat.
Yeah, and Daegron will kind of walk back into the room and say, those sin spawn that have been besieging you here, we killed quite a few more. We're just here to patch our wounds up, and we'll continue on and keep clearing the way for you.
small steps.
The ones you killed, what did they look like?
And he kind of like puts his hand in front of his face, almost like how their mouths split, and he said, mouth is split open wide like this, and ugly as sin. My friends said they're called sin spawn. I'm not sure.
They weren't here before. Those must be more recent. Only humans causing problems previously. Still, you have friend badges. We trust you. Yes. You want to rest here, you say?
If that's okay.
I guess so. Not know what type beds. We have piles. They point to the north room that you haven't been in yet.
We have our
Piles?
own bedding and such. We can stay in here.
Well, they might want their space too. Perhaps we should look into the room.
No. If you don't want piles, we sleep on piles. You can sleep in here. That way, if they come, you're first.
Fair
That feels
enough.
fair.
Okay.
And they
Did
all
you
go.
shut the way behind us?
I can close those for you.
No way. No reason to let them know where we went.
And you hear sounds of like them barricading stuff against that door as well.
Okay. I'm going to like try very, very hard to move the stable. She moves it like 2 inches, and it's like I'm beat. Never mind.
We'll set a watch.
Yes, and maybe do some patching up before we sleep, just in case anything comes.
I think Libbiel is probably the one that needs it the least, so I'll just stick around the corner for the rest.
And I would believe both Vanarel and Daegron would still be in the 1 hour cooldown on medicine.
Yes, I would be.
Dezi, I think,
Yes.
has not been treated yet, so you could treat Dezi. And then it's a matter of, are you sleeping or are you going through a couple hours of treating wounds? Because no one has continual recovery yet, or does someone have continual recovery?
I don't
No,
believe they
I
do.
don't know. Yeah.
Not here, no.
Okay.
I mean, I think we need to sleep. If we want to spend a little more time patching up, then that's fine. I don't know what time of day it is generally. I'm not sure if we have an idea.
It's not that late because you went to
No.
Stoneholm roughly in the morning. You probably spent, you tried to knock on the door. Maybe spent a half hour to an hour finding that underground stream and making your way into Stoneholm. Once you were in Stoneholm, you went through there very quickly. You found one fight, and actually 2 fights in there, and you freed some captives and escorted them out. And then you came down the tunnel to here. The tunnel would have taken some time to walk. It's probably only 1 p.m., 2 p.m. if you could keep track
Yeah,
of the outside
we didn't
time.
explore around much at all. So, yeah, I think it's probably at the worst noon. Yes.
So it sounds like your plan is to camp out here, rest overnight, which is going to require, getting back to daily preparations for all the spellcasters. So you're planning to be here probably about 16, 17 hours is what it sounds like.
Yeah, I don't think we have a real choice to push on anywhere right now.
The only
Okay.
other option might be to spend a few hours healing up, and then see if we can't make it out to warn. See if the town's okay. I don't think we could go
that's
further
also a
down, but
good
we might be
option.
able to get out.
I think we'll still need to take a few hours, but yeah, we could stay here and recuperate, and as we feel fit, go back to the town.
So why don't we do 1 round of treat wounds on everyone? And that would be after 1 hour, see how you're feeling. And if you want to, at that point, make it back to town, or at that point, if you want to commit to resting. So we can make the call after seeing how effective one round of mundane healing is.
Okay.
Yep, sounds good.
All right. So, Vanarel does have the healer's tools. After how well I did that with work with Daegron earlier, I will say I don't have another one of those potions.
I've got I will get out a minor healing potion, being like, if you make a big mistake, use this.
Okay. Who am I starting to patch up first?
I think it's me or Libby, given time downtime.
Oh, that's
Right.
right. That's right. Because
Yeah,
okay.
you'd be waiting at least like 40, 50 minutes for me.
That's right. Okay. All right, Dezi, this will be you then. Add it. Come on, fancy medicine kit.
That's going to be 4d8.
Well then.
Yeah.
I don't know, Dezi. I don't think I did a real good job. Are you sure you're feeling okay?
Wow, that was so much better than before. You should heal people with the scalpel, not cut them.
Yeah, you didn't stab him once.
I?
But good job. I'm glad you're learning. I'm not sure I want to learn this way, but at least we're figuring things out.
Oh, all right. All right, Libby, let me try and patch you up too. Hopefully I've learned something new and exciting here. I'm not going to stab you with this. Turns
I
out
hope
that's the key. Yeah.
Mm,
How
So,
did that work? That's what I did the last time.
it's probably fine.
and let's try one on each of Daegron and Vanarel.
All right. All right, Daegron. I've learned some things. I think I'm not gonna stab you this time.
only a mild stabbing.
Right, but it's the healthy kind of stabbing.
A healthy
so.
kind. Thank you.
All right, and I will attempt to wrap myself up also. Yep, looks just as good as Libby's.
So after an hour of camped out here and bandaging yourself up, and you're in somewhat better shape, but still not ideal shape. Do you want to spend the night here at this point? I'm not going to hand roll through another 2 or 3 hours of treat wounds. You can either at this point head back to the town, I think was your backup plan, or rest here overnight. Which of those plans do you think the characters are leaning toward at this point?
I think Libby is leaning towards getting out into the town. I think you've convinced her, or more accurately, the dungeons convinced her that they probably need some help.
If you had your
Flying
wounds
or something.
treated, which was Libby can clear the wounded condition as well.
Really? Okay. I thought it was successfully restores.
I thought you did get hit points back, didn't you? Oh no, you didn't.
No, I didn't.
No,
So
I
put it
failed with
back.
Libby and failed with myself.
You just had more hit points to start with. That's right. Never mind. Sorry.
Mhm.
Sorry for interrupting.
I mean, on the way out, I can take the lead at least. Hopefully, we have a clear path, but I don't know.
I still have its sleep spell. If nothing else.
That's a
I
good
don't-
idea.
I don't think it's going to be super amazing, but
Well, Dezi, why don't you, if we're gonna head back, why don't you let our friends know that we appreciate them letting us stay, and we're gonna get going, just so they don't leave this area here unattended if they
Yeah.
need to watch it.
I'll let them know. We'll come back in the morning to clear out more of their path down. Yeah, I guess Desi will go up and knock lightly on the door. Say, excuse me, we're gonna try to head back to the surface, but we'll be back first thing in the morning to finish that pathway so you can go home.
Oh, 1 second. You hear sounds of stuff scraping and being moved around. They open the door. You need to close door behind you. And
Okay.
when friends visit, they bring stuff, right?
What would you like? Food?
Fish.
Yes.
Fish. No fresh fish
Oh,
here.
that's-
We need fish.
Okay. We should be able to find that. Assuming everything is okay up on the surface, we'll bring you some fish.
Very good. Good friends.
Well, let's get
Okay.
going. The fish won't catch themselves. And I could say we're heading back towards the surface from here.
Yeah, my thought would be to trace the route we came in on. I don't know if oh god, I forget her name. The grumpy
Sister Vanda.
Ormite
Vonda?
sister
Vanda?
Vanda. I don't know if Vanda was able to hopefully she was able to handle things above.
we'll find out.
And then unless anything we come across anything, I don't know if you would like us to walk out, or
At least, I mean, are you strictly retracing your path? No other
I
doors
believe
being
so.
open, nothing else being investigated.
We're not that curious. I
Yeah.
don't
Okay.
think.
In that
Not right now.
case, yes, let just group yourselves all up at one square somewhere so I can cut and paste you to a different map more easily. And we will do it that way. There we go. Okay, so you're going back. Let's, I guess, go to Stonehome. That's probably the best place to pick things back up. Oh, you're still on that map, apparently. I can do it this way. Some of you are on the map, not all of you.
I think that's when Vanarel and Dagon didn't make it to the stairs before he switched over.
Yep, I'm making that all fixed now. So you are back now, coming out of the stairwells in the surgery room of Stonehome, the Gormite Chapel Stronghold training facility. And what are you doing?
I'm gonna have BS scout ahead. Because B is kind of stealthy and, well, if nothing else, they are a lot faster than us. And make sure the path is clear.
So I think the door is open, so you actually would see this without having to scout. You're going to see some people sitting in this room. Just grab the other person who's sitting here. There we are. So you at least see Vanda sitting at the table, kind of slumped over, looked like maybe she'd been like pounding the table railing and then kind of just sagged and is just resting on the table. And as you get close to the door, you do see another person who looks utterly exhausted, sitting across from her at the table. You do see the remains of some kind of, looks like extremely hastily prepared food. Maybe just like some baked potatoes and not much else. It looks like, lowest effort food they had around.
I assume they've probably tossed the bodies out somewhere.
Yes. Let me move them somewhere.
Are you two okay? I assume you're the blacksmith we heard about that they had taken prisoner in here.
Yes. Oh, who are you? Where did you come from? And Vanda's like, no, they're okay. Don't bother them. What? Why are you back?
The blow kind of kicked her ass.
You do look very bloody.
Did you encounter those big things with the split faces, or was that just us?
Just the one you left dead in here. It didn't come back to life.
There were like 5 more of them, and ow. We need a break. So we wanted to check on the town.
Well, that and sleep. Let's face it, it was mostly the sleep.
So we must restock and recuperate before we head deeper.
If you're heading to the town, please be sure to tell the 3 priests you saved that we have Stonehome under control and they are welcome back if they choose to come back.
Well, except for, what's down in the basement, but,
I was talking with Trigriv here, and she nods at the blacksmith, about how to quickly repair that hole. I guess we should have made sure we checked with you if you want that hole repaired or not.
If you can just make a gate across it, that would probably be the best idea, right?
If you can get the 3 acolytes to come back, we could at least then maintain a guard at that post to open it should you come. We don't want to leave it unattended, and we cannot make a locking gate with a key overnight. We can barricade it. That's about the extent.
Especially since these monsters seem to really like rust.
Yes. They have halberds too, though, so they could chop through wood.
Yeah.
The cultists, though, seem to prefer daggers. We can at least assuming there's only cultists, wood might be enough.
Sure, we'll talk to the priests in town. Do you know? Did they head to? Well, we told them to go to Elsie's. I think we'll stop there first, maybe.
May Gorham's luck be with you.
I think we'll need it.
Looks around at the stronghold of Gorham, and Dezi says, "Thanks, I think."
Come on, let's get going.
She chuckles and
Daggers.
like, you do know that Gorham's luck is battle.
We are up to our ears in Gorham's luck right now.
Not enough of Gorham's luck for the day.
We'll Gorham some more tomorrow.
And from
Head
there,
towards the front gate.
yeah, I can put you back on the Iron Harbor map. Let me see if that one already has you on it, so we'll just activate it. So you are back in Iron Harbor. Where would you like to go first?
All right. Well, we have a few chores. We need to check on the acolytes, lick our wounds, get some fish, uh, perhaps see if the other way down over at the rusthenge is somewhat easier for us, or maybe we just don't chance it.
I am
I think
curious
at least,
where it connects.
yeah, but
And
maybe that's a project for tomorrow morning.
maybe talk to the pirates. I mean, the totally legit sailors.
Privateers, I think, is the word.
Yeah, pirates. And know what I said.
We stop by Elsie's first and see if the priests headed there or if they went somewhere else.
No, I think
Okay.
that's a good idea.
Getting them over to Stoneholm, probably a good idea. If they want to go. I'm not forcing them in there.
Okay, so it sounds like I'm hearing Elsie's as the first stop.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I'll move you over here. Let me get Elsie picture up while we're talking. So you do arrive.
Oh, I do have something to bring up with Elsie as well.
So you arrive back at her, it's her general store, shop, apothecary, general busybody of the town. Uh, and as you walk in, you do see that she is currently talking with the three acolytes. Uh, they are they're currently they're arguing right now, kind of in good spirits, but they're arguing a bit. He's like, no, no, no. I promised the other four the beds here. I don't know where I can put you all up. I don't have that much space. Oh, they're here. Oh, is that all your
Hi.
own blood? Are you
Um,
okay?
I think it's a bit of a mix, which is probably the grossest part. You have a bath.
Uh, well, we can heat up some water in a big tub outside. Uh, yeah. Sure. Yes. It looks like you need that. Uh, what happened to you?
Yeah, we're pretty far from okay. It, there was some weird stuff going down below Stone. Sorry, Ironhenge, and there were these creatures that were pretty bad there. Uh, the good news is we found beds for you. Uh, the castle's now back in good hands. I'll say that, more directed towards the priests.
Oh, the castle, the Stonehome
Sorry,
is
Stonehome.
Stonehome
Yes.
is under our control again.
Vanda's taken it with the help of her blacksmith friend, whose name escapes me. It's been a long day.
Uh, did you see anyone else there?
Just those two.
Just those two.
They could probably use your help. They could definitely use your help. They mentioned they'd appreciate some help if you were able to come back.
I am not going to force you back. I understand trauma. Uh,
You
but
can tell
you
that
know,
they're looking at each other. And it looks like, one of them is basically almost instantly grabbing his stuff and heading back. The other two, they were like, why should we go back there? They betrayed us all. The high priest, he was part of it.
uh, just to maybe point out that there's likely a promotion or several in store for you, you know, by going back.
Hmm.
The high priest and most of the priests there that were into everyone who was behind the cult in the castle, we mostly took care of, or Vanda did.
It's more of a fort, stone home, that is.
It looks really big.
Yeah,
Okay,
but
sorry,
it's
fort.
very utilitarian.
What are they planning to do? Did they tell you
Uh,
anything?
well, they're going to barricade the hole downstairs that leads to the place where all the monsters came from, and probably fix it back up.
Hmm.
At the very least, it's a place to sleep for the next couple days if you decide to go somewhere else.
That's a good point. I know the town. I think we need. I think we need to change how we interact with the town.
Yeah, by interacting with them at all. That would be a good start.
They. It would have been nice if they were willing to put us up in our time of need rather than looking down on us as I guess we've often looked down on them.
Well,
I mean, you were there for a week and no one even knew that something was going on because you never talked to anybody.
I'm sure Elsie would have put you up, but there really was only about enough beds for us.
We, the three of them, look and nod. We will head back to the keep, but if you can, find out, are there any hmm, dangerous beasts or other things that we could fight to help protect the town rather than just dueling each other all day. And with that, they kind of walk back to the fort. Looks like they want to find a way to still use their combat skills to more benefit the town rather than being quite so insular.
Well, I have a plan for that, but first, Elsie, your was it a goat? Yeah, it was a sort of like a goat friend. He's fine. He's in the stone home. You could probably go visit him anytime you want.
Oh, you, you got Ida to take the medicine?
Yeah, we couldn't get Ida to like leave the pen, but I think it's fine for him to stay there though.
That is great news. Yes. Uh, I is anyone there taking care of the goat? Sounds like they have bigger problems.
They probably have bigger problems. Maybe you might want to ask about taking the goat off their
I'm
hands.
I'm gonna go run and grab the goat. Um, you're fine to the bath's out back. You need to let it heat up for a while. And you can rest in here. I I think you need to get clean though before you go around the town. I think you're going to scare the rest of the townsfolk walking around like that.
Yeah,
That is a good point. Thank you, Elsie.
So she
I
she
think I
does run
scared
off.
a poor old lady getting here, but
So she runs off to go get the goat back. Maybe catches up with the other three who are maybe a couple minutes ahead of her. And you do see that she is talking, friendly with them, even if it seems like the rest of the town, or at least she's trying to set an example for the townsfolk. Um,
Mhm.
and you take some time, heating up the water, taking the baths, getting your clothes cleaned. What else are you doing while you're here?
um, I guess after Libby gets done with uh, her bath, she's going to try to fish, just like as a way to relax and like relieve some of the tension.
Okay, you can give me a nature or survival check for how well that goes.
let's uh, let's see how well that goes.
It
We'll do it
it does
blind.
like there were fishing rods. actually stored pretty close to where the bath was. It looks like there's a small set of like same type of probably relaxation supplies from her that she was using when she takes a break from managing the shop. You don't catch anything. You might not even manage to get the bait on the hook a lot of the time, but you're still sitting there casting the rod out and just watching the waves. Watching the waves.
That's what she's really there for. So that's fine.
Desi will spend some time trying to figure out this new familiar thing that they've gotten apparently, and kind of figures out that they can, with some work, coax out the Arctic fox and and use it as a bit of kind of like a spell book. So it can teach them magic in the morning and stuff.
And Daegron.
Yeah, I think Daegron would be seeing like Libby start fishing, and maybe just kind of relaxing and not getting much from it. He'll kind of go stretch his legs and head into town and see if he can find a fishmonger or someone where he can get about maybe like a little mini, like almost pony keg barrel filled with like fresh fish.
Okay. Yeah, that would be. Let's call it about a gold for that.
Okay, yep. He'll take that off after and kind of just take his time and just take a minute to kind of relax and decompress after a really stressful morning.
And so as you're all wrapping up these little chores, Elsie does come back, kind of beaming a little, leading the goat with her. Um, they said I could keep her. Isn't that great? They're they say
Yeah,
they're too
that's
busy to
great,
train
actually.
it.
Oh, that's amazing. If we have any time, I might be able to help you a little with the training. I don't know if you've trained a goat before. Neither have I, but
No, never. And well, maybe once it's healthy again, I might just let it go. It's a wild animal after all. It never seemed to be that happy here, but it's sick. We need to get it healthy first. So what are the four of you doing now? Are you? Oh, I don't see your elder with you. Um, you didn't find her?
She's still in that place.
Oh,
yeah, we think she got brought deep into the complex. We don't know exactly what's going on there, but it seems like some sort of cult.
should the town be worried?
Um, no need to start a panic. I think that the cult is mostly interested in that rusted, decayed structure out there in the water and the Goramites for some reason.
But you say the ones at Stonehome now are okay? I mean, the three who left here, they seemed friendly enough. I think they got scared.
Yeah. Banda seemed especially put out by what was happening, and the Smith was completely a prisoner, for sure.
I think it might be a good idea if you're able to, and it might be a good way to start communications to coordinate how to protect the town. Should anything happen. I don't think there's immediate need for panic, but I think they are still figuring out good ways to coordinate their defenses too.
With that said, we need to send word back to Osprey's Cove, and it may be time for you to talk with them and coordinate. If something is happening on this island that can affect all of us, we can't stay separate.
Hmm. I hmm. You're thinking I don't know. Uh, it's a day's journey to get there, though. I don't think anyone in the town here wants to go that far. At least not right now, while it's still unsettled. I think,
Well,
like,
I was going to say, would it be faster to go by boat?
well, I mean, I think it sounds like Daryl wants to go. You might be able to convince Daryl, but finding someone with a boat to bring him, that probably would be faster. And I don't think he should make the journey by himself. Uh, you could try asking around some of the fishermen if any of them are willing. I was going to go talk to some of the grannies and see if any of them would be willing to help bring some food up to Stonehome. It sounds like they maybe could use that today.
Yeah, they were eating a really sad dinner or lunch. Oh, I keep forgetting. Our day is only half done.
I assume we're getting into the like mid to late afternoon at this point after kind of these errands.
Yeah.
Should
That's
I remove wounded? I
yes. Yeah.
assume
At this point, we can say you're healed to full, uh, and overnight rest will happen. You can get your spells back now. If we still have some more role play going on in the afternoon, if you have other errands around town, we can still do those. But yeah, you can clear all the conditions.
yeah, we're not going back down today.
No. The earliest will be in the morning.
And like there'd be enough hours now that I think Vanarel could have finished healing people with mundane tools.
Yeah.
Eventually.
Okay.
I
And
wouldn't even mind. Yeah.
starting tomorrow, you do have 3 level 1 casters available, clerics to heal. They will not travel with you, but you do know when you come back to town, you do have that resource in the town for healing
Okay.
purposes.
So we have some heals if we need them up here. That's good.
Back at Stonehome, yeah,
Yeah.
Is that Thessalonian trireme still in port?
it is.
Maybe we should check it out and ask what they know. They certainly seem complicit in this.
We haven't seen anyone who wasn't a Goramite up there. Besides the creatures down below, I don't know what the Thessalonian would be doing here. Or where are they deeper?
Maybe they
I don't
were
know where they
hired help.
factor.
I mean, I assume they triggered this no matter what, but yeah, maybe ask them a few questions.
Okay, so do I hear you're heading toward the swordfish?
Um,
The following morning, I think, or today, this end of the day.
Towards the end,
probably
I mean, probably once
today.
we're healed up, but I don't. If we want to do it today, it's up to you.
Probably today, just to go talk with them.
Okay,
I
and
mean, I
then
don't expect them to be, murderous.
okay, so you're all healed. You've rested up. It's probably about 4 p.m. in the afternoon by the time all the healing is done and all the other little errands you've done, and you make your way down the pier, down here. And yeah, you see a um, large, 70-foot ish trireme. It is definitely one of the fanciest boats some of you have ever seen. I mean, I know Vanarel and Daegron, you've traveled more, so you've probably seen larger boats, but as it is, the map doesn't really do it scale. It's definitely the largest boat here by a good amount. Uh, and you see, 4 or 5 deckhands kind of manning the boat, watching you as you are walking up to it. What are you doing?
Let's try to get
Uh,
someone's attention.
Oi, what are you doing here? Go back to your town.
uh, that's on the other side of the island. We're here because we've learned some things about this little hamlet.
Oh, you're not from here. Let me get the first mate. And the deckhand walks away, comes back with this person in tow.
The person we saw before.
When I Yeah, I think you saw them on the boat before, right?
Yeah, when we
Yeah.
were passing by.
Yeah. So, the deckhand says you're not from around here. What business do you have here in this town?
Well, we're trying to find one of our own who's, we're pretty sure, inside. And I'll point up at Stonehome, that building.
Well,
You're
we've
missing one
already
of your
found.
own as well. Oh, I apologize for my brusqueness. Please come on board where we can chat more civilly. And
Okay.
she kind of softens just a little bit. I mean, she still looks nervous. She still looks formal, but it does feel like she is more curious than hostile to you at this point.
Okay, I'm gonna go, but I think Desi would still be a little bit suspicious, given they presumably brought this trouble here. Maybe they didn't know that though.
Yeah.
Might have nothing to
Well,
do with
Libby
them.
is going to go for sure without like any kind of guile to it.
Yep. Daegron follows along.
So you said that one of your own. First, where are you from?
Um, should I just tell you a story about the whole yesterday and what the events that led up to it?
If you think that is the best way of answering my question, yes, I will. I have nothing else to do. I will listen to a story.
Okay, I'm going to just relay the adventure so far to this woman. I assume this is going to be a diplomacy roll to see how well I do this.
Sure,
Okay. Should I roll private? I
you
think
can
I
roll
should.
this one public.
Okay.
The rest of the party can kind of tell how things are going and maybe want to jump in or help in
Add in.
different ways.
Yeah. So it started with a man who came to our little um and she's like he stumbles. He realizes this is like the most social she's been in like 30 years.
I will tell them kind of, yeah, you're kind of presumably botching, not terribly, but a little bit, the early part of the story. I'll start to go into details about kind of the cult and what we knew about it, and stuff happening beneath both Stonehenge, or sorry, beneath both Ironhenge and Stonehome.
Yeah, so I think I'll probably re-roll with a hero point.
Sure. And Desi, if you want to add a roll as well that you were contributing, it sounded like something.
Yeah. Just a little bit of help
So
from Desi as
Libbiel
she
knows that
rallies.
you've gotten a critical success. Desi, that's not a success. Each person can kind of do one of the checks here. So I know the flavor of Desi and Libbiel. Vanarel and Daegron, do you have anything you want to add to this?
I don't think Daegron would have too much to add. He's mostly letting them speak. He's, I think, standing kind of behind them, keeping an eye on anyone else in this crew who's around, just so if they did have something to do with this, they don't get the jump on them.
Do you have intimidation?
I do.
I think I will take that as a stand-in for kind of acting as the strong muscle behind the story and kind of backing up the events, making it feel believable that you could do what they've said you've done. Okay.
So he's very clearly a Gormite, right?
Who? Daegron?
Uh, yeah, Daegron. He's got like the holy symbols and stuff.
Daegron does not have them.
He doesn't?
I don't
Oh,
think
Nope,
so.
I don't have them.
No.
I don't have those ones.
I did take the opportunity to re-roll
I
with a
saw.
hero
Yep.
point. Yeah.
And so yeah, I mean, you're acting, it might come across more as disinterested rather than, you know,
Yeah.
supporting. Um, and she does kind of look over at Vanarel to see what is Vanarel doing.
Vanarel's angle was that's why I led with the pointing out Stonehome, like where we have interest in there, because if I'm remembering right, they have they had people go in there as well,
so a more sympathetic angle.
and they more of like we have a problem that's not fully solved yet, and you wouldn't be here if your problem was solved. So let's put all of our cards on the table here. What's going on? Because we still have people in there. We have someone very important to us we have to get to. And if you have any information that can help us, maybe there's something that we can do in there to help you as well.
Okay. Sounds like a diplomacy check from you as well, unless you had a different skill you wanted to use for that.
No, that's the angle I was going for. I'm
Perfect.
just not being real frilly with my words. Just trying to drive home the point.
Woof.
Maybe not doing it as eloquently as I should have.
So at that point, unless anyone's using a hero point from either Daegron or Vanarel, let me know.
You know what? Yeah, I'll use one on mine. Well, might as well. We'll see.
Okay. That does get us to 4 successes, counting Libbiel's crit. Uh, she definitely softens even more. And it actually seems like, Vanarel's tact might have actually been the best. Even if that was the least successful roll, we're going to ignore that right now. Yes, we have a problem. Our captain went up to that building, Stonehome you called it, about a week ago when we arrived, escorting our passenger. Uh, Passenger said it was very important, of the utmost urgency for us to get him here as quick as we could. He paid well for it. We haven't seen the captain since. 5 days ago, I sent 2 more crew to inquire at the keep. They never returned. We can't leave here without the captain, or, well, we shouldn't leave here without the captain. But the crew's getting anxious. I'm getting anxious. Don't know what's going on here. Did you see any signs of a captain or non-Goramite individuals up there?
They might have brought them below, where they're presumably holding our Ordwi.
We didn't. Yeah, we know they took Ordwi and around where they took her, but I mean, it's very possible they took other people. There were additional cells and rooms around the main area too.
They
Let-
said your captain accompanied someone. Who was this?
Ah, Lord Mitranar, I believe his name was, acted all pompous and important. Here, let me get the captain's log. Maybe you can make some sense of this. And she comes back. First, let me close this. She comes back with the captain's log.
It's this.
Oh, that
Oh,
that didn't show you anything. Interesting. Let's try that again. Maybe I do that. There we
ah,
go.
okay.
If one of you wants to read this out loud, I know the text can be a little bit tough sometimes with this font. Let me know if it's a problem.
I can read it nobody wants to.
If you'd like to, go for it.
Yeah, go for it.
Right. Wind brisk, sky is clear. Lord Mitimer paid passage for himself, his entourage, including a quiet but unnerving sin spawn. Oh god, that's not a good sign. In a large wooden case he declared containing as an exotic pet for a colleague stationed at an outpost on Bosk Isle. I guess that's their name for it. Wind brisk, forecast skies. Lord Mutamar approached me with an adjustment and a bonus upon return to Zinestral. We are no longer bound for Thoaska, but south coast of ah, okay, this seems more to Pakistan to the squatter village of Iron Harbor. When brisk rain, Lord Metamir's entourage has been disrupting morale, elitist attitudes, disrespect for the shipping crew. Looking forward to being rid of him. Winds calm, overcast skies. Put crew to work on oars, but made good progress. Wind brisk rain. Wind brisk rain. Deckhand Hesselin reported seeing Lord Metamir Mars Sinsbon minion opening and closing a slat on the crate in the hold an hour before sunrise. suspecting smuggling. I entered the hold to investigate. Movable slat in the side of the crate could be used to stash goods, but upon opening, it's upon opening it, I spied within a strange beast, some sort of lanky, six-legged, like a dog with a plant-like stalk growing from its body. The beast was sleeping. There was no signs within the crate of smuggled goods. Disciplined Teslin for mongering. When brisk rain arrived at sunset, still strange to see old the old spires in such a rusted state. Lord Metamir Mar met with Iron Harbor's commander, then left with his entourage to a large stone structure at the edge of the village. Commanded the crew to remain on board and not mix with the local rabble. Another day at the harbor, a few hours before dawn, several of Lord Metamar's people returned without him and loaded the exotic pet crate onto a cart and hauled it around the peninsula towards Thunderhead Isle. Final straw. This mystery needs to end, and we need to head home. Tomorrow morning I shall debark and pay a visit to Stoneholm and demand a swift leave. Oh, that's really not good.
Yeah, well, we spotted that creature, and that's clearly the thing that they were using on the island there, the mushroom wolf thing.
Yeah, that was part of their ritual to. Well, we did tell them about the cult, so they were trying to summon um, Brain. Come on.
Uh, Captain, can you describe what your, or sorry, I guess you'd be the first mate? Can you describe what your captain looks like? That way, if we see them, we could at least identify them.
Yes. Um, he's tall man, name of Captain Perios, um, and always has a tricorn hat with a couple feathers. He always claimed they were griffin feathers. I think they are just uh, some large bird. I don't know what, but he's a good captain for all that. Really hope he's back soon.
We'll keep an eye out when we go down. Is there anything else you can tell us? This Lord Mitromar, there's something strange that happened at Stoneholm. The Goramites were replaced by these rust cultists, as my friends said. I think your lord had something to do with this.
Hmm.
In fact, this strange creature they mentioned in here that he transported, we've ran into it. It tried to kill us also.
Both
I
of them. You had a sin spawn on your boat.
Yes, we do not like those. They they are very unnerving. It did not attack us. Lord Metronmar vouched that he could keep it under control, and well, they are somewhat common back home.
Do you know what type of sin spawn specifically?
I I did not know. I would suspect envy, given that is Belmarius's domain, and we came from Belmarius's kingdom.
That would certainly make sense with what we've been running into down there.
And they're not real under control now that they're inside that building.
Well, we will not let them back on our vessel then.
There's also a lot more of them now, so I'm not sure where the rest are coming from.
There was only one on the vessel, I can assure you that. I mean,
Well, we
if they had
will
paid for more, that
try.
would have been fine, but they only paid for one, and we only saw one. And with that story from having peeked into the crate, I don't think they were smuggling extra ones inside the crate.
No, just that weird mushroom creature, that Venus flytrap
If you can
creature.
find out, if you can you can get the captain back to us, we can leave here, and I'll make it worth your while. I have some crystals that I think are valuable, probably more valuable to you than they are to us.
That
Okay.
sounds great, but I'm more interested in getting our people out and maybe getting some people home to our side of the island.
Is there perhaps any aid you can provide with us looking down there? We're
Hmm.
ill-equipped for such an endeavor.
We we cannot leave without knowing what's happened to our captain. Either if you get the captain back, if you'd rather forego a monetary reward, yes, I'm fairly sure he would agree to ferry someone to your where'd you say your home was?
Oh, it's
Um,
just around the other side of the island.
Yes.
Osprey
Okay.
Cove.
Yeah.
You just follow the coast. It's kind of the same direction.
Yes. If you can get our captain back, uh, I am sure we can convince him that that is a suitable reward. You'll have some
Okay.
individual for us to ferry in the future.
Perhaps.
We should.
We might ask around a little as well, because if we can get a message in now and tell them what we found, we might have more help from home.
Very good. I am glad you were not just locals sightseeing at our vessel.
I mean, it is a very pretty boat.
It is a
Ship,
nice
ship.
ship.
She nods. It does seem like she's back to business and wants to get the ship ready for the captain's return and get the ship ready for a voyage.
Okay. Well,
So
this
you
was somewhat worthwhile.
so you head back off the boat. It is the morning. Party has just finished discussing matters with the first mate of the swordfish and is now making their plans for what they wish to do next.
So after the night's rest, Desi will say, I had a strange dream. I'm wondering if this is the sort of thing that Libby was talking about in terms of people coming to me, but it was this big forest, and I heard lots of, I think they were elven voices calling out in terror, and I saw Fox. His name's Natquick. I saw Natquick over there, and he was in there, and he just kind of ran away. I don't really know what it means, but it was strange.
Can I
It's
roll lore at
understandable.
that?
Sure.
A knowledge or something?
Yeah. You can roll uh, whatever skill you
Occultism?
think might fit. Yeah.
All right. I think occultism probably is the most fitting.
If you'd like me to narrate this a bit too, I can.
Yeah. I mean, it that feels like this does feel like a patron claiming someone and sending a vision of a possible future, a an event to solve to fix. You're not quite sure. It doesn't quite rise to the level of like this is a mission you must do, but it does seem like there's some sort of communication from a patron going on here that you'd be very familiar with your own witchiness.
Yeah. I am rather certain that was your patron contacting you and showing you maybe a glimpse of the future, perhaps, or maybe just
Oh,
a strange dream. They're a
um,
little esoteric at times.
okay. Well, thank you, Libby. This is new for me, so I never had this happen.
Well, welcome to Witchhood, I guess.
Thanks. Uh, though it seems like you have a much clearer idea of how these patrons things work, so I might need to talk to you about it in the future. But at least Natquick and I seem to be doing well together.
Only a lot of books, but I do have personal experience with one bumblebee. All right. For now, let's gather everybody up and see what we're doing for today.
Yeah, Daegron would kind of like scratch his head and be like, what was the name of that hermit?
Oh,
Oh, Daryl?
Ah, yeah, Daryl. Let's we want to go see him and see if he'd be willing to deliver our message?
Well, else he said that he'd be the one probably the most willing.
I
And
guess we can
then
talk to
once
him. We still need to
we
find the
talk to him,
captain,
we go
though.
down. Yes.
So you're heading back over to Gold's Ruin, it sounds like, first?
Yep.
Yes.
So you go back to Gold's Ruin, you knock on the center manor's door, and Daryl looks out. You're back. What's what's the occasion?
There's a lot. Well, there's some weird stuff going on in town. We really appreciate your warning. But um, we heard you might want to travel to the other side of the island, or might be interested in that.
Uh, I've often thought I'd get along better there, but don't travel too well, and it's nice to have a roof over my head at least, even if it is a only partially constructed one. What did you have in mind?
Well, we see there's those strange sightings you had seen, those lights out at rusthenge. Well, it seems there's a lot more going on around here. We're looking to send a message back to Osprey's Cove. If you are willing to go, we may have transport for you shortly. I don't think there would be transport back, but hey, sounds like that's something you might be interested in.
How how welcoming is the town of strangers? It always sounded like a nice place, but I know some of these towns can get very insular and very distrusting of outsiders. I'm
Well,
I'm
you
I'm
met us.
tolerated here. That is true.
What do you think about us?
You've been kind.
Our
The
Uh,
town,
community is more or less the people who disagreed with the iron-fisted nature of this one.
the
So,
town was very welcome. Sorry. Go ahead.
yeah, I think they would probably welcome you a lot more openly, especially since you don't have any baggage over there. No, you're bringing nobles that they didn't really take a liking to or anything. So, fresh start, at least.
um,
Town was very welcoming to my mother too when she first arrived. So
hmm. I and the transport you said is they a good captain? Are they good? They can sail well. I don't like the sea voyages that much. That's maybe why I've stayed here and not gone back to the mainland.
Daryl, we found the best ride in all of port. And he points out towards the massive trireme.
You've talked them into just doing a short little pleasure jaunt across the aisle? Oh,
I wouldn't call it a pleasure jaunt, but hey,
to them
they're
it would be.
kind.
To them it would be. They're an ocean-faring vessel. They don't do little small village to small village. If you've gone that far, yes, uh, I will gather my things and I'll. When you call for me, I will travel. Can you write your message that you want me to deliver, or um, are you going to tell me the message? How do you want this done?
We'll write something. There's there's a lot.
And there may be more by the time we come back.
I I
Yeah.
look forward to the call and the chance to see Osprey's Cove and maybe start a new life.
Well, anything's got to be better than living in these rundown huts. We're on our way. And Daegron turns around and starts heading back.
Yeah,
Well
you see
constructed one to find out how, at least.
you see Daryl has a little bit of an like these are the buildings he designed but never finished,
Yeah.
and he has like you can tell he doesn't like hearing them put down, but at the same time he knows they're not finished buildings, and yeah, he definitely has uh, a complicated relationship with these buildings. And you then head back out. It's probably been between dealing with the boat and this, it's probably getting upward to 10 a.m. at this point. Let's see, another hero point to award. Let's see, who do I want to give one to? So Libbiel and Daegron are both out of hero points. I'm going to say Libbiel. There you go.
I think we should make our time, or we should head back down. I mean, I know we rested, but still, time is probably of the essence, or is important here for any rescues we need to do.
Yeah,
Yeah,
let's
let's
get
get
back
moving.
down.
Okay. I'll leave you on this map for now. So are you going to rusthenge and exploring that stairwell, or are you going back to Stoneholm and using their
Yeah.
pathway?
I wanted to ask about that. Is the when is the when is it blocked off by the water?
Oh, that's true. It's about now. Because we had said it was 11 p.m. last time, so it'd be 11 a.m. and 11 p.m. would be the low tide.
Yeah, so I figured it was if we can go that way, great, and it was if we could physically go that way.
So if
And
you,
then obviously whatever else anyone else felt about.
I think going that way sounds fine. If it is through that other side passage we came in through, then that'd be my guess. But I guess we'll find out.
At the
And
very
because we
least, we
don't
can
know where the prisoner.
take another look at uh, Rest Hinge while it's still daylight. Instead.
okay. So you do the long walk around uh, over the sandbar at low tide and made it back over to Rusthenge. I'll put you back on that map while you're investigating it. Let me move the dead bodies because remember you said you threw them somewhere anyway, so they're not there. There we are. And we turn off the chanting because obviously they're all dead and there's no chanting going on here.
Ghost chant.
I don't even.
Desi would have Nat Quick out well for most of the walk, but as soon as they neared Rusthenge itself, I think he'd probably spend a minute to convert to convert Nat Quick back into a small tattoo.
And I think while you guys are maybe doing a little more investigating of this, now that it's daytime, Dagron's going to go over to the tent and just step inside and make sure no one else is here and that no one comes up on them while they're investigating.
Yeah, there is no one else here. You still see. Where is that noise coming from? Is it Please ignore the sound. I don't even know what's triggering that on this map. I have all sounds off, but I still hear it.
If you would like to get rid of it, you can drag your environment thing down.
Yeah, we'll do that for now. Always fun.
The
But yeah,
stairway down
he'll
was
kind of he'll post up here.
So you're
stairway down was in the tent.
in the tent. The tent
Yes,
is like hiding
Inside the
it.
tent.
Sure, I will investigate that.
The stairwell, or
Yeah, I just want to
Okay.
take a look and see if I can figure out kind of which direction, if I do think it meets up with the other passage, that sort of thing.
hard to tell without actually going down it. You know, you weren't able to do a great sense of direction while going through the underground tunnel. It was long enough, you know, not like you are an expert in orienteering or in dead reckoning. So it goes down. You felt like you could be below this. I mean, that one room felt like you thought it was the base of one of these pillars. So that seems believable, but you'd have to, actually go down the stairwells to confirm that hypothesis.
Maybe we had, I guess, is there anything we need to look at up here?
I mean, I'd like to take just a second to discern the secrets of this place. So I'm gonna use my focus points to you know discern secrets at this, and that's just a +1, right?
Looks like it. Yep.
And occultism seems the most fitting. Would seer elves um the arcane sight help here?
Uh, I'll maybe give an extra +1 bonus on that, a circumstance bonus.
Yeah, that is in my occultism check. I'm gonna just Oh, okay.
Okay. Yes. So, I mean, when you were here at the night, it was hard to see what's going on. Even now, you can see there's occasionally weird energies that seem to be pulled out of the air and funneled down these spires into the ground.
Mm-hmm.
It looks, you're not quite sure how you know this. Maybe it's a whisper from your patron or from Bumblebee. Maybe it's just from a weird connection that you made in your mind. But you think it is grabbing, like, siphoning energy off of souls of things. You think mainly off of maybe just dead insects, birds, just any sort of natural death in this area. It seems to just funnel not the complete soul, not enough to like cause it to, be an undead type of situation or a corruption, or interfere with the river of souls. But it's siphoning off just a little bit of energy off of anything that dies in the area here
Huh.
and funneling it
They're
down below. So it seems like it's gathering energy somehow.
they're gathering energy from parts of souls. That's grotesque.
That's awful.
We need to put a stop to this. Probably
Agreed. Let's
destroy this.
let's head down and rescue who we can, and we'll um, end whoever's causing this.
Okay.
And Daegron kind of looks back towards you guys as you come into the tent. And he's like, "Are you ready to go down?"
Yes. Yes. I unfortunately am ready to go down.
Okay.
Should
Let
probably
me
take us a quick look around inside that tent to make sure there's nothing else useful we might have missed the first time. Also,
let me double check. Aside from a couple of pallets, no, there was nothing else there. In pallets meaning just, very, very, very bad sleeping conditions. And yes, let me toggle you on. If you go down the stairs do emerge here. So it was the stairs from the other way down into this room.
All right. Well, let's go talk to our froggy friends and deliver them their welcome. I mean, presents.
Before we
Yep,
get all the way
I've got
there,
the barrel of it.
should we make sure there's no additional prisoners in the room with the
Let's check the rooms. Yes.
So I moved you back into the first room that has alternatives.
Okay.
I mean, maybe just door by door going around.
Counterclockwise. And the Daegron will walk up to this door, put an ear
yeah.
against it, and listen, see if he hears anything.
You can give me a check on that. You hear nothing.
Okay, and he goes and opens it up.
Yep, not locked. This chamber is covered with shelves on nearly every wall. Some crates and some barrels are on the floor.
He's gonna just do a quick glance through. He goes, looks like it might be some kind of storeroom. Let's see here." And he's gonna do a quick just rummage through and see if he finds anything.
Yeah, you find a number of things in this room. Food and drink. It looks like relatively fresh, not more than a week old. A decaying leather pouch that contains some copper pieces and a platinum coin. Dozens of empty potion bottles. Uh, you still see a lesser healing potion labeled in Thessalonian, which I know one of you speaks, so I will identify that one without you having to roll for it. And
Yep, Daegron will dump the gold in, and then he'll call back and say, "Libby, Dezi, there's some stuff that's I can't tell what all this is here." And he hands over these three other things.
one is one of them is what looks like some sort of necklace or um, maybe it's a clasp for a cloak that was on a chain instead. You're not really sure. It has some kind of weird esoteric symbol carved on like a medallion. And the other one looks like a dust and grime caked pendant of some kind. Looks like it might be some sort of angel or devil or something. Looks like you moved them all to the party stash. You want to try
Yeah,
to
I just grabbed
you want to
them.
identify anything, or you want to
Yeah.
move on? I guess you have the
I'll
you have the
spend
1
some-
minute.
Yeah. So I'll work on doing that while they're kind of rooting through some of the other doors unless trouble
Yeah.
breaks out. So.
If you want to come out here, he just says, Dezi, take a look at the stuff. Sit on the stairs here. We'll open the doors, and if anything comes, well, come give us a hand.
And I'll just refocus.
So the top unusual object, which is clearly a staff because it says 1 of 1.
I posted the
do we
two.
feel-
I posted the 2 new things to chat that you should be able to click the roll button on. The other ones, I think you. There's no staff. It's a wand. That's right. But you found those earlier. If you want to try those again, I can send those to chat as well. We'll do these first 2 first. Failed on the first one. You did get the second one. Let me see. So that was. It is a Crying Angel Pennant. You know, it's a consumable you can affix to armor that will make it so that you can't critically fail a medicine check. It would break when you critically fail.
Well, I know who should have this.
Oh no, wait. Looks like they may have changed how it works. Never mind. The new version. When you activate this pendant, attempts to administer first aid using medicine get a +1 bonus to the check. If you succeed when you're trying to stabilize, it gets 1 hit point back, loses the dying condition, and becomes conscious as normal. If you succeed, and you were trying to stabilize the bleeding ends. Wait, doesn't... Oh, okay, so if you're trying... So they changed this one in the remaster. I don't think I noticed that. Because before I thought it was just you can't critically fail, and it cracks and destroys when you have a critical fail. This new version looks different. So
The old one became a failure instead.
Yeah. This new one, so it's a +1 bonus, 1-time use on it. It's still a consumable. And it's mostly useful if you're trying to administer first aid, not trying to battle medicine or treat wounds. So it's much more useful. So it's an in-combat thing now rather than an out-of-combat thing. And it actually heals instead of just stabilizes, which could be a big deal. Still not great for getting back into combat ready, but could be good for right after combat, getting them back up when they can help out more. And for stopping bleeding, rather than giving people an easier check, it ends the bleeding. So, okay, that's pretty cool.
Do you want to grab that, Vanarel, since you were the urbanist person?
And I will send the 2 unidentified wands as well. And while that's going on, it looks like Daegron is up at the second door. If you want to do a perception check there.
Yep, same thing.
And you got both wands this time. You have a wand of breathe fire and a wand of grease.
Well, there's a combo.
Leave these to Libby.
Well, of course, grease is not flammable in 2nd edition, so...
Yeah. It should be.
You don't hear anything there, but that one, the air here smells a little cleaner.
Okay. He's going to go to open it up and see what's inside.
These modest chambers contain a small, musty mattress, a chest of drawers, and a writing desk. Standing upon the desk is a rusty iron sculpture depicting a mountain with a dagger buried in its side. And as you look around the desk, there is a couple of items here. So there is a rusty dagger that, let me actually do that. It does have a very fancy symbol carved on the blade of the dagger. And you found 2 keys as well, and a journal, which I have one handout of the interesting items. This might be a little long, though, but we'll see. Someone else wants to give a read through of this one?
Yeah, I can do it. Nor's journal entries. Elves. Why are so many elves passing through here? First, it was that Desnan singer, Sindra, she passed through, charmed everyone with her singing and dancing. The town smith started making metal butterflies instead of swords for weeks on end. The acolytes were flighty, always sneaking out to take a nap and dream. It took nearly near on a month of training and lectures to get everyone focused again on the important things. Training to take over Osprey's Cove and later Riddleport. Port Master is under orders to not allow her back into town, but she hasn't been back anyways. Then that hulking champion of Apsu, Tessa something or other, long name, how do they expect to shout that in battle or in challenge? Still, he could fight, bested all of our who challenged him before I had everyone stand down. Who would have thought such a smooth-talking elf could throw down with the best of us? Said he was here to track down an apprentice of some famous wizard. Didn't ask names, wizards, who cares? Came back through a few days later with his youngster in tow, like any other apprentice guilty of sneaking out. But didn't look battered and bruised as expected. These elves are soft. On his way out, Tess said that some mainlander by the name of Yando Clean would be in touch about rusthenge. Sounded ominous, but nothing has come of it. Asked around, it seems like this Yando is a big name in the Pathfinder society. Don't want him poking around. They meddled and learned more than they should. And then this most recent one, Dal, obviously a fake name. More polished than the others who came before, very smooth talking, with fire and dedication behind her. Still could never rile her up enough to duel. She was trying to track down details of two of the original crew, Ladariel and Shalienra, claimed they were important folks back in Kionin and called them cousins. But then what are they doing out here? Dal was upset that we didn't know much more, but that was about 90 years ago, before my time. Thought they moved up and moved to Osprey's Cove over the old disagreement. Haven't heard their name in years. They must have died or are up and left there too. Dal stayed in town for a few days and was going to head back to Osprey's Cove, but a bird landed on her shoulder and suddenly she raced back to her boat. Some tiny bird, likely a messenger. Didn't recognize where it's from. And then there's an illustration of an elf at the bottom.
And that would be, coupled with the journal entry on Dal.
Mm-hmm.
You would see Dezi get very excited. Just their eyes go wide and their mouth kind of drops open. And they say, Sidra, that's my mom. She did come through here.
You want to take a look here? And he kind of just tosses the book over. He's like, don't see much else information in here, but who knows?
Wasn't expecting to. This is amazing. Thank you.
This gross thing was in here, and he's kind of like holding the rusted dagger and is like pinched between his forefinger and his thumb. And he puts it down on the stairs next to you. He's like, I don't know what is with these cultists and rust. It's foul. Why would you want a rusty weapon?
You see him, Dezi, kind of looking between the book and the dagger. He's like, I can look at this later. This was a long time ago. And he kind of puts the book carefully in his pack and examines the dagger to see if he could maybe figure out what the symbology is here or anything like that.
Sure. I posted the checks for it there in chat. You're not sure. I mean, you're guessing it means something. It looks like a little bit like a broken Sahedron star. So it looks a little bit like the symbol of Thessalonian, but there's some cracks through it. You're fairly certain that it's actually not the symbol itself is not what's causing it to be magical, but it is still channeling magic, and you don't think it has to be, like, you're guessing this is a weapon rune of some kind. You don't know what rune it would be, but they don't have to be the same every time. So just reading the rune wouldn't tell you the answer. But this one is a Sahedron. And Libby, if you need help, I figured
it out.
You got it? Okay.
I figured it out.
Yep, I see them there.
Actor's tab was enough of a hint.
The rest was slightly longer to type, but yes. I also have a scroll of Mud Pit, which I'll put up put in there if you want to grab that too. It was in one of the previous things we found. It wasn't grabbed, so I grabbed it.
Scroll of mud. Perhaps. Let me just.
And if Daegron wants to give a perception check at that door, you've moved across the room to the western side now.
So he leans up against this door and listens in again.
This one echoes. It feels like this one may be a hallway of some kind.
He'll slowly inch that open and take a peek.
You definitely see a longer hallway with multiple doors and cross passageways.
Many paths. Hold on. Let's check this one down here first before we go this way. And he lightly closes this door and tries not to make too much noise. And he's going to head down to the one southwest.
Okay.
He'll do the same thing again, lean against it, and see if he hears anyone on the other side.
Don't hear anything. This one smells bad, though.
And he kind of goes, foul. 1 second. He opens it up and looks inside.
Again, it's a small, short passageway that turns a corner. The bad smell seems to be coming from the door to the north of that hallway, though.
As he's kind of like smelled, does it smell like rot or like bodies or anything like that? Or is he able to pinpoint what it is? And he kind of like gestures as he steps inside and he's like,
Smells like an unmaintained latrine.
Yeah. And he's like, ugh, 1 second. He goes and looks down to the south and there's another door there too.
Yes, there is.
Okay. He leans back, braces himself and kind of like holds his breath and opens the top. And does this look like entrances to toilets?
Believable, yes. Bad smells issuing forth from all 4 stalls.
He's like, you know what? No. And he steps back out and closes the door. He's like, I don't need to investigate that close.
We don't need anything in that room.
The one to the
Vanarel
north.
is actively wincing from here.
Yeah, the one in the Boggards area was better maintained than this one.
He's like, even if there's something useful in there, I don't care. And he's going to step down and just check. He's like, there's one more door down here. Let me look real quick. And he'll, you know what? He's going to check because it always catches you in the time you don't do it.
Here you actually hear some sounds. You hear, like some light tapping, kind of metal on metal, a little bit of like some grinding noises. It sounds like someone is doing some form of like metal work or fine work, almost jewelry making in.
And yeah, so he turns back around and puts like his finger to his lips, and he's like, "Somebody inside. Get ready in case this gets rough." And he's going to then turn back and open the door here and step inside.
Let me just pause things while I make sure what's going on. And let me, I should just toggle you into initiative. It's easier. Go ahead and roll initiative. I will roll theirs, and then I'll give you some flavor for the room. A thin layer of dust coats the workbenches, grinding wheels, and cabinets in this well-equipped workshop. The smell of earth and sweat fills this room. You see 2 cultists, looks like working on assembling, looks like an eyepiece of some kind, on the table here. But they turn towards you and screaming for Zar Azmak, the intruders must die. And Daegron, you are up first. We're unpaused.
Okay. He has his axe back. He goes charging forward. He's like, rust worshipping fools. And he's going to slide around this one here to try to stop them from getting away anywhere. And then he's going to swing at it with a snagging strike.
I mean, you can see, having come into the room now, that the only way out of this room is the way you came in or the other door on the north wall. So
Mhm.
we're trying to blocking them from getting away.
Ugh.
You don't think you're doing that. And you
Well,
missed
it's
with your
partly
swing.
flank, partly stopping him from maybe getting around the table or something. And then on his next one, he then, now that he's kind of put himself in here, he will raise up his axe and get ready to fend off any hits that come.
Vanarel.
All right. I don't think I can see anything in here. It got real dark real fast.
Oh, that's true, because Dezi is your light source.
I'm still gonna. Well, if that's the one face I see inside the darkness, I don't think I want to go in.
See two of those faces.
Always trust Paizo to have good art.
I guess I have to slowly form my way. I can tell there's something or someone here.
Yes.
Maybe it's a creepy face in the dark. I don't know if I can, because they're effectively hidden to me, I don't know if I can actually designate them as my prey. I feel like I do have to at least, like,
Let's do a quick double check for Hunt Prey. What is its requirements? Hunt Prey.
it's just designated a single creature. I have to see or hear them. Okay, so there it is.
Yep. You are able to hear them, so you can target them.
Okay. Well, I will target this strange sound in the darkness. All right. Well, they're cackling, and I can hear them waving their dagger maniacally. I guess I will give this a shot. I've moved up, designate him. I gotta trust my instincts in the dark here.
Yep.
I'm gonna go
okay,
for it.
so flat check to target first. This is a DC 11 flat check.
Oh, that was right out.
Okay, so potentially hits.
Okay.
Actually, no. I'm going to take that as your to hit roll. They would have a light in here. This makes no sense. They would need light to work from. So let me put a light spell on them. This makes no sense. They obviously need this. They are human. They can't see in the
Which
dark.
is just hanging out in the dark.
There we go. Okay.
Getting creepy in there.
Okay. So.
Oh god, it's worse.
So you rolled a 17. What's your bonus to hit?
With my first strike, it's +9.
So that's a 26. 26 against flat-footed is a crit.
Okay. Here is my critical damage on that first one.
That one just drops immediately. It's looked up from its workshop. It had a small little like jewelry hammer in hand. Its dagger was actually on the table next to it. It looked a little surprised as an orc comes running in around it, and then another elf orc comes running up right behind and clobbers it over the head, and it falls to the ground. I think you have an action left. No, no action left. Yeah. Move, hunt, prey.
Yes, and Flora, yeah.
Okay. Libbiel.
I'll go ahead of you, Dezi. He's going to move up to here and target this one with our little electric bee sting attack.
That will hit. Whoops, I applied it to you by accident. Let me fix that. Let me apply it to them. There we go.
Ow, yeah, wrong person.
It is now Dezi's turn.
I haven't been able to see any of this because I'm around a corner. So I'm going to stride into the room to try to figure out what's going on. There you are. Okay. That one's right there. Kind of okay with this line. So I'm gonna just try to mutter some words and use needle darts to form basically what looks like a crossbow bolt and fling it at them.
That's gonna hit. And it is now his turn. And what's he gonna do? Spends one action picking up his dagger from the table. Moves here, and will stab at Dezi. Screaming for Zar Azmak. And misses. Daegron.
Okay, this Daegron comes back up. He's going to round the table and get behind this cultist that's attacking Dezi.
You
And,
have
try to
25 feet of move?
Yes.
Okay. Yep. So that can go around the table.
Okay, let me just double check. Yes, 25. So then he is going to swing with his axe here, snagging strike like always.
That will crit.
There we go.
Rip.
And we are out of combat. I believe you took no damage this time.
Oh, I think we're getting better at this. I
I
don't
was
know
just
if
gonna
that.
say at least we're getting better. But yeah.
I don't know if that scares me or is a relief.
Well, seeing what's happening here, it's a relief. We have to make sure we protect the town.
Reed, what were they doing here? Looks like they were crafting something.
They were making their weapons more crappy.
Yeah, I'll take a look at the bench since I'm right near next to where one of them was.
Yep. You're looking at the bench. That's
Ooh,
two sets of things.
okay.
I'll do some identification on these. I'm assuming we can spend a couple minutes here.
Yeah. So
Yep.
there's a set of
Daegron kind of gets next to the door to make sure nobody comes in if they heard anything, to give you some time.
So there is a set of tools on the bench. I'm going to change the name. I don't agree with what they named these. Let me change that. There we go. So there is a set of sterling artisan's tools. You know, these are good crafter's tools for making any form of jewelry. And then the item that they were working on, is that in the stash now? Does one move it?
Yeah, I threw it in the stash.
Let me
So,
send the... There you go. To identify it. I'd also take crafting. It's not listed there. If you want to roll crafting instead, that would be just fine as well. No, okay, yep. It is a partially finished crafter's eyepiece. You know, it would take some skill checks and some time to finish it, but the investment in resources is already done.
yeah.
You also see on the area where Daegron is, there is some very weird wheel and locking mechanism kind of on the wall between, I guess it's not shown here, but like on this wall here, there's some sort of like weird wheel that you could spin and lock and something. You're not quite sure. You can tell how to work it, but you don't know what it does.
Okay.
Well, can I do a crafting check or something to try to figure out what this mechanism might be used for?
Sure.
Can I make? Is there enough material here to make a improvised tool of a lockpick using the new feat I grabbed?
What was the feat?
It's called improvised tool, I believe.
Yes. There's definitely enough files and picks and things that would be used for, shaping, for shaping jewelry that I'd say you can find one pick worth from that without.
Okay, I'm gonna replace the pick on my thieves tools then.
And Daegron, yeah, you think this is something to control some sort of storage or protective mechanism? You still don't see anything in this room that it would control.
Yeah, and he's like, huh. Maybe it's in this next one there. Is everybody done in here?
Yes, I'm sorry. It's just
That's it.
I think so.
Oh no,
Yeah.
take your time.
I saw the materials here. I figured I should fix that toolkit I broke earlier. Can I gather enough to make another one just in case?
I would say only if you're willing to destroy the set of tools, you can get 2 more. But that would get rid of the set of sterling tools. So it's a big
think
loss
I'll
in
leave-
money, but it if you think it's more useful, you can do it.
I think I'll leave that until a later thing then.
If it's an emergency, we can.
Yeah, basically.
Okay, then so Daegron standard leans in on the door to give it a listen.
You hear like the sound of something like swinging or creaking. There's like a rhythmic kind of slight scrape sounds.
And he's like, maybe some sort of trap. Let's see. And he goes and opens the door.
A
Watch
pair
for
of
any
wide
spears on the
racks.
ground.
Sorry. A pair of wide racks stands against the eastern and southern walls in this chamber, each with 3 segments, left, right, and center. Small divots in the racks hold clusters of 10-foot-long iron rods, coated with large splotches of rust. Flaked off pieces litter the floor. And because there was a high secret roll there, you do see a large metal cage swinging above the room.
Okay, and he turns and he kind of like looks at that and then looks at the wheel, and he's gonna kind of give it an exploratory, like shifts the wheel slightly to see if it controls this thing.
Looks like it just did. If you see on the map, the cage just came down.
Oh wow, that's cool. He goes, all right. Well, I'm glad we got rid of these people here. He wheels it back up, and then he'll step in and start and take a look and see what's in here. Just kind of like watching. He figures if the big trap was up top, probably not anything on the ground.
I mean, you give me another perception check looking for that. Actually, I'll say no because Vanarel's the secret perception
Yeah.
is high enough. Yeah, there was a pressure plate here that you knew to step around.
Okay.
That would also cause it to drop. There also was the locking mechanism. I don't think you said you engaged that you could lock it in the up position.
Sorry, I didn't hear there was a lock.
I'm going to
But-
lock.
Yeah.
I'm going to be like, this seems too dangerous.
Nobody step there.
Well, no,
He's
it's
like-
just disarmed now. I put the lock on. Why didn't you do that? Weird.
It had a lock?
Yeah.
Huh.
Little flywheel lock. It's fine.
Well, thanks for grabbing it. Let's see this way. Maybe this connects back, or do we want to continue west?
I think we are fine for going up.
Yeah, go ahead
Okay,
and check
well,
that one. I'm just watching here just in
Yeah.
case something comes in.
And he's like, it looks like it meets back up with that hallway up there. Let's check that western door before we go into this area.
All right, close that door.
Okay.
And Vanarel, if you want to go first, you can too.
Sure, yeah. All right,
And let me monopolize the door opening.
Oh, hey, you were good at it. I'll.
I found out how to light my torch, by the way.
That
Well,
felt like
good.
such a backhanded compliment. No, you're really good at opening doors.
Yeah, you are.
I think Libby has like a light on her. I think we can take that away since I figured out how to actually light the torch.
Let me check if I have a aura on you or not.
Actually, Vanarel, I'm going to cast light for you too because I can keep up to 4 of them going. So it seems like you want one.
Well, just in case we walk into a pitch black crafting area with crazy cultists. Just
That's why it wasn't done. They were working in the dark.
That's why, yeah.
Feel free to grab it if you haven't.
And
I
Vanarel,
just did. Yeah, thank you.
you would definitely smell something very odd. You don't think you've ever smelled anything like it through that door. There's a little bit of caustic smell, a little bit of biologic smell. It's not something you're at all familiar with.
Be careful, but I guess maybe just take a peek in to see if you see anything.
Well, do you want me
It's
to send up Bia? They can smell very good.
It's a funny smell. I don't know if you want, but I'm gonna
All right. I'm gonna
crack.
send
Yeah, I'll crack the door so your Bia
Bia
can take a buzz in there.
take a deep whiff, tell us what's going on over there.
Okay. So you send Bia in. The smell is coming from the southern side of this. And there's another kind of door that looks like it's been forced open. So Bia could easily get in or look inside and describes, because I forget, do you have share senses? Can you see what Bia sees?
I do share senses, and they also have dark vision.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Bia, what you see, first you see this.
Oh.
And the other thing you see, or that Bia sees, or you see, is this.
Oh. I'm gonna be like, we should close that door. Come back, Bia.
Okay, I'll wait for Bia to fly back in and then close the door.
There's an undead frog person and some kind of ghost wolf thing. I
Maybe we
think.
just leave that door. I mean, I think it's more likely the prisoners are downstairs anyways, and
Yes.
I don't see a need to
Did Bia see
enter
like a
the
way through them? Like, was it a dead end
That
or?
looked like a dead end.
Did you recognize what it is at all, Libby?
Uh, let me think back.
I can take an
And
occultism check on that.
okay,
Since you have share
and
senses, there's no penalty for you identifying through Bia's sight.
understandable. Would Seer Elf apply to this? Probably not, since
No.
it's through Bia's sight.
You. Again, I'm really wondering what Libbiel's education was because I'm surprised you got this. You know that animal is something called an akata. It is
He did have like 130 years to read, so
It's a hairless, blue-skinned quadruped with fearsome jaws, glowing eyes, and a pair of thin tails, and a mane of writhing tentacles. It's silent. You know it never makes any sound. It seems like it lacks vocal cords. And you know that you believe it comes from like beyond the planet. Like you've heard these like fall down from the sky sometimes. And you know that they kind of enter a state of suspended animation by making a cocoon around themselves. And this cocoon is Noqual, one of the mythical sky metals that's amazingly valuable for crafting unique items. And since this was
So-
called the Sky Metal Workshop, you suspect they had some of these that they probably tried to always keep in suspended animation to produce more and more of this metal. You do know that when they kill things, when Akatas kill things, they rise as a weird form of zombie.
yeah, I'm going to relay all that, being like, you sound like bad news, but I bet it's very valuable.
But maybe this is a problem for after we find Ordwi.
Let's maybe barricade the door. Since it doesn't make any sound, we won't know if it's coming after us.
Well, let's just keep these doors closed here. If it hasn't come out yet, then well, we can turn the lock off as we leave on the trap. Maybe that would catch it.
That's a good idea.
Well, we're leaving towards that way. Ship points.
Yeah, we'll go
the other
up
door.
north. Or do you want to poke your head around? Do we know what was up in the north of this?
That
There's another hallway leading to another
Okay.
door.
another hallway.
Here, let me actually move at least Libbiel in, so
Okay.
you could at least have seen that room. That's what Bia saw, and you can see the doorway leading up.
It was probably a hallway. However, that door that they're in is cracked. So it seems dangerous.
I think it's unlikely that anyone else came here if that creature's still there. If the cultists probably weren't here.
Yeah.
Can't shake the
likely
feeling
had-
it would be a lot of money in there, but you're right.
Yeah.
Now's not the time.
Didn't those boggards say they were missing people?
Yes.
Well,
We
we
could
found
probably
one.
inform them that we found the corpse of them. It was reanimated as some kind of freakish undead.
And as Daegron enters, he's like, well, it looks to the left. There's a hall heading south. I see a doorway. It probably connects with what you saw.
Probably.
We've got 2 more. And then, well, let's just start. And he starts walking down the hall. He's going to ignore the one to the to the south of him here, as he's pretty confident that connects to the other. And he'll lean in and listen at this door here. To the north of him.
That one you can't tell. It's silent, but you can't make anything else out. Any other guesses about size? There's no smell.
Yep, and he kind of holds up a hand as he starts leaning into it and inching it open until see if he'll try the door and see if it's unlocked.
And that one is locked for the first time in a long time.
And so he'll call back and he's like, Libby, can you try getting this open?
Oh, I guess.
And he'll step forward here.
Just come over here and try my luck. Bia now has partner in crime, which means they can help me with this.
We found a couple of keys too.
Yes,
True. We do have keys. Hold on. And he passes you both the keys first.
He looked excited, holding her lockpicks, and went, "Oh, all right.
We
I'll
did,
try the keys
I just
first."
wouldn't want to see you break it again on accident. Those things
No.
are hard to come by.
No, it's fine. The keys work. He's going to try the keys first.
And the keys will unlock the door.
Nice.
Looks like some kind of cell.
2 piles
Don't
of...
hear anything.
Don't hear anything. 2 piles of rusted ingots sit in alcoves to the east and west of this closet, although one of the ingots appears to be untouched by rust.
All right, I'm going to go in there and probably take the pristine ingot.
Let's see the pristine one. There we go.
A silver ingot. That makes sense.
Or why it's not rusted.
Yep.
And,
Is there a quick way to send it to storage, or do I have to like put it in my inventory first and then send it to
If you
storage?
have the party sheet open on the stash, you can drag it into the stash.
Oh, okay. So last time we did this, we didn't have this.
There you go. That worked.
Okay.
We'll hide that
just
now.
Dezi, you can use that too if you wanted to.
You're talking about the silver ingot?
Yeah, you can use that for needle darts.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. I guess I'll hold on to that. Well,
Yeah.
I'd have to put away my crossbow. I'll figure it out. I'll keep it on me at the very least.
Yeah, I don't necessarily think you have to draw it. You're just gonna have to have it on your person to use
Okay.
it. Daegron then will enter towards this next one, and we'll continue down the hallway doing the perception checks.
Yeah, you don't even need a check here. You can feel some heat. You hear hammering as well.
Yeah, sounds like a forge of sorts.
Probably could have heard that at the beginning of the hallway. I'm sorry about that.
Yeah. Oh, no worries.
Thumbs
And
up,
then
that's fine.
he'll open this door up.
Let me pause things again. As you see, I think from where you are, you see one. Yes. Something that looks like that.
Oh, that's a
at,
little terrifying.
working at one of the
What?
forges. A different forge stands in the west, east, and southern wings of this room, each accompanied by an anvil of different size. A hammer sits atop the largest anvil. All three forges burn hot, filling the room with a dry heat. Large, shaped plates of iron litter the room, leaning against the various walls. And you have these two creatures. You see one, but you can tell from the sound that there must be two. They are. You think they're playing with the furnaces. You can tell they're not making anything, but they do have on heavy gloves for forging. They have hot metal on these sticks that they seem to hammer and shove back in the fire and hammer some more. They're not making anything. And as soon as you open the door, the one here, the one directly across, shouts out, "Beltanar is dead. You can't make us work." And comes charging at you with that hot metal object. And we will be rolling initiative here. Let me toggle you all in. Go ahead and roll. I also would take a Zen Edrisol lore check from Libbiel immediately
Okay.
for free.
Let me just.
The name they said, Theltanar, means nothing to you, but you can tell it is a name of that culture, but you've never heard it before. Okay, and Vanarel, you are first.
All right. I'm gonna just move into the room just to get an idea of what I'm seeing in here. Oh, there they are. Okay. Well, they're rushing towards us with big fiery things, so I'm going to designate this one at the western end of the room as my hunted prey. And this feels like a good time to remember I have Monster Hunter now, so I can get a recall knowledge on these things as part of my hunted prey
Okay.
action. I have no idea what these things are.
Religion would be most appropriate. Let me check what else you have. So religion's most. You don't have that. Sailing lore will not apply here. I think you're rolling a religion. Yeah, you're rolling a religion.
Okay.
No, I would take the Arcana as well. I'd allow that. That's a little bit better for you.
Arcana? All right, I'll go with Arcana. Let's play the what the heck are these things game.
You know these are dretches. They are the weakest of the demons. They are vicious and cruel.
Okay.
They tend to be bullied by everything. They are sometimes known as sloth demons. And what one bit would you like to learn with your recall knowledge?
Are they particularly weak to anything?
They are weak to cold iron and holy.
Okay. I will pass that on. Hey, I learned a thing back at Elsie's before we left. I read one of her books. Cold iron and holy.
Hmm.
I've also got on my next attack roll against that particular one, I have a +1 from the Monster Hunter, but that is. Man, I don't really have anything. Yeah, I'll advance a little bit more. I'll make it come to me, hopefully. That'll be my 3 for now.
Okay. Dezi.
Dizzy's going to, having fed this information and knowing I'm probably the source of our holy damage, I'm going to walk in the room so I can actually see what's going on. Sorry, I'm having trouble actually moving my token right now.
Okay, I can move you forward. Do you want to move into the room?
You
So
move me
5,
just inside the
10,
doorway? Yeah.
15, 20. So 25 is one move to get you there. And
Okay,
you can...
and I can see that one across the room, so I will try to fire a divine... Oh, is that...
Looks like it's in range.
Okay, then I will fire a divine lance at that one. Speak some words, and a glowing bolt of light fires from.
That will hit. Barely. Like, you could see it was trying to dodge out of the way, but you still managed to land the hit. And it burns a little bit extra. It did not like that at all. It is up next. It is going to... It's going to run up to you, Dezi. 5, 10, 15,
Yeah.
20, 25. What's its speed? It had to double move to get there. And then it's going to swing at you once with that heated light mace, effectively. And it's going to crit you. I don't know why I have it on blind GM roll. Let me fix that. But it was a natural 20. And let me check. Is that... And that is missing... Oh, nope, that's... Never mind. It has a special rider, but only with its claw attacks, not with the mace. And that was its turn.
Yeah, Disney's not looking so good right now.
The other one is up next. It's going to single move to there, and it is going to swing at Vanarel.
Vanarel's been looking incredulously at the first one that ran right past him. Like, I'm right here. Oh, thank you, someone.
And it will hit you.
Ow.
And it will try a second one. Oh, wait a second. I forgot one thing. I have to do on both of these. This might change Dezi's turn. It does. Take off that damage, Dezi.
What happened?
I forgot one of their passives. They get a D4 capped at 3 actions per turn. He rolled a 2.
Okay, so it just made it up to me.
Yes.
Gotcha.
The other one got its full complement. This is their version of sloth. They often are too lazy to take their full turn. So... But the one on Vanarel looks like it got 2 hits on you, though. Yes. Here's the second round of damage on that. Okay. Libbiel.
Maybe it's just going to cast from here. There's no reason to be in there for this.
That's a hit.
Nice. Here, have a little bit of damage. A
Max
lot
damage.
more damage than I thought.
And you have 1 action left.
And, I think I'm just going to eat that last action. Or
Okay.
no, I'll put up a shield. May as well.
Okay. Daegron.
Okay, Daegron's going to push past Dezi here into the room and come around to the other side of this creature here to get some flanking going. And he's going to try to pull it back away from him and with like a snagging strike here to get it off balance.
That will miss.
And then for his second, he's just going to go for a follow-up on it and just try to at least put it at some disadvantage. Nope, same exact thing. He just keeps trying to grab hold of this thing, and it just keeps like wriggling free of him.
And that is where we'll pick up next week. So that was end of round 1. We'll pick up with round 2 here next week, and mid-combat with this pair of dretches working the forge. Hope you all had a good time tonight. Thank you all for listening and joining in. I really appreciate everyone here, and see you next week.
See you next time.
See you guys.
Goodbye.
Bye, everyone.